We're live. I'm Chris. That's Pat. We got another Painting Corners episode. We're both in a pretty good mental headspace.
So much better.
Given the past X amount of days, I guess, because our teams have been winning a little bit.
I feel good, man. I finally feel good. I mean, shit, we were both at one point last week. We had lost 10 in a row. You guys had lost 6 in a row.
Yeah.
We had fallen completely out of the division race and fallen out of the wild card race. You guys had lost hold on first place in the division. It's like we were both going through it there for a little bit. And now this week, we're coming off a sweep of the Astros. You guys are looking for the sweep of Seattle tonight. Like it's things are going well over here on Painting Corners.
Well, I got this pack of cards, dude. I'm just going to open it and we're going to see if there's 3 players in here I could package together for a Jose Ramirez trade. You just tell me yes or no.
Okay. And I'm going to pick 3 of those players and put them in a home run parlay. And
3 of these in a home run parlay? All right, what if it's someone bad, though? All right.
Well, hopefully they're good.
Okay, so here we go. Well, this one is 3-1. This is Bobby Witt, Vladdy, and Aaron.
I mean, that could be the home run parlay for tonight.
Yeah, that feels dope. Pedro Leon.
I don't even know who that is.
Me either. Ryan Thompson.
Okay, not putting him in the home run parlay.
No, can't be in the home run parlay.
Nor am I trading Jose Ramirez for him as part of a package.
Tommy Edman.
Okay,
not bad. Brandon Lau.
Oh.
Yeah, Andrew McCutchen.
Hey, shout out Kutch.
Justin Malloy. Spencer
Schwallenbach, all right.
He's hurt right now, though, too, right?
Yeah, he hasn't pitched in a minute.
Riley Green.
Okay.
Paul Blackburn. Don't know who that is.
He's on the Mets.
No, I skipped one.
Oh. Lauren Elena? She's a fucking singer, right?
Yeah, bro. We're just throwing anything in packs.
Dude, what is this? What does the baseball world come to? Or the
no
baseball
clue.
card
But
world?
that's your bang right there.
There's
dude.
the one. I'll take him for Josie.
Straight up. Yeah, absolutely. I think Acuna is the most talented baseball player on the planet.
Well, only thing is he just can't fucking stay healthy.
Yeah, that's the big if. All right, we're into it, dude.
Yeah.
You guys just dealt with your sweep of the Astros. How does Pat? Were you surprised at all about sweeping the Astros?
Brother, was I surprised? I was floored. We were coming off a 10-game losing streak. The second worst record in baseball since June 1st. Meanwhile, the Astros had just swept the Dodgers and had the best record in all of baseball since June 1st. I think we had gone 9-22. They were 24-8 over that same span. So it's like, I went into that thinking, all right, offense is struggling. I know we're facing Hunter Brown at some point this series. At first, he was supposed to go game 1. They ended up pushing him to game 2.
He was at the time. He was the ERA leader. I don't know if you guys knocked him out of that, but he was the ERA leader.
Probably did. We hung 6 on him. I'd have to pull that up, but yeah, dude. I went into that thinking, all right. I mean, shit. I went into it thinking, can we win a game? Can we just win a game?
Don't get swept.
Lost 10 in a row. Let's win a game and try to, get this season back on track. And now I'm sitting here 3 days later thinking, buddy, we're 4.5 back from the wild card spot. We play 20 straight in a row starting today against teams below 500. Don't let the tribe get hot.
It's funny because the blow it up trades kind of stopped coming in from Guardians Twitter, and now it's how can we get better trades? Because before, here we go, Class A, which I still think you guys might trade.
It's tough. I go back and forth. I do think that you're going to get a tremendous return for someone. And especially we've seen in recent years, man, bullpen arms get a lot more than what they used to at the deadline just because they're such a pivotal piece come playoff time. The thing that makes it interesting with the Tribe is that their bullpen is already depleted. And it goes back to last year. And you brought it up. We've talked about it on the show.
The innings mark, and you just can't bend that 70 innings.
And especially after a deep playoff run, they were workhorses during the regular season last year because our starting pitching was bad. Then you go on a whole playoff run, 10 games in the ALCS, and those guys are just, you could tell they're not as sharp as they were a year ago. So Class A, Cade Smith, Hunter Gaddis, Tim Herron, all those guys' numbers are down. And they're still being used a lot because our secondary guys that we thought were going to be leaned upon, have been hurt. Sobrowski was hurt to start the year. Andrew Walters has been hurt. Paul Sewald was hurt. So now we're bringing in these other guys, these retreads, the Matt Festas, the Jacob Junises, and they can only do so much. So to me, optically, Class A being dealt at this time doesn't make as much sense, especially if we're in the thick of a wild card spot, but I wouldn't blame them if they did.
Yeah, I think if you do it, you obviously don't want to ship them to anywhere in the AL, especially like things that, all things considered. And you'd be okay sending him to the Phillies, for example.
Yeah, that's the team that I keep seeing that's been linked to him. So,
and then what do you want the return to be? Like, what would you want the return to be for him from the Phillies? Like, are you at a point that you want to take prospects? Because my belief is like, if you've got a great player in their prime that is one of the best players in your franchise's history, if not the best player, which I think Jose is the best player in the history of Cleveland. Yeah. I wouldn't want prospects. I would want like a ready to go bat, and maybe some prospects I would take. But if I'm pairing you up to play with Jose, I would want someone that can help Jose right now.
Yeah, and that's all going to be really decided upon in the next 2 weeks, right? We're going to sit here in 2 weeks, and if the Tribe sweeps Chicago this weekend, which I hope they at least win 3 out of 4, and then come out of the All-Star break, win the first 2-3 series after the All-Star break, and find themselves bang right in the thick of things in the wild card race, then yeah, if you are to trade Class A, which then I'm not sure if they even will, but if they were to, you absolutely have to make sure you're buying by selling. So like get ready to go MLB talent that can help you win this year. It has to be that way. And so that's where I don't know what Philly can offer, because they're in the thick of their own playoff battle too. So it's like, I don't know who they would necessarily offer that would be an upgrade for us in the present day, because it's not like they have a deep farm system. I know they have a decent system, but it's not. And again,
like I wouldn't even touch the farm system right now. Like I wouldn't touch anybody's farm.
Yeah. I mean, if they had MLB ready bats now, then maybe, but it's just like, I don't know who in their lineup right now, in the MLB lineup, are they going to trade for a Class A? It's like,
well, and obviously like Alec plays thirds. Like you don't want that.
No, we don't need a third baseman. It's like really like Bryce Harper's untouchable. Kyle Schwarber's untouchable. Trey Turner's untouchable. So it becomes on their current roster, like Nick Castellanos. He's an upgrade, I guess.
Don't they have him DHing though?
They got
Schwarber.
They want him DHing because he's so bad in right field, and that's where he doesn't fit the typical guard ball
player. He's going to be a playoff masher though.
Yeah, he absolutely would be, and I would take him. They just have to. The problem is they already have the logjam at DH with Manzardo and Fry currently. I mean, I guess like Max Kepler could be an option maybe, but he's had an underwhelming year. Oh, he loves hitting in Cleveland, so maybe that's the move. I don't know. It just like optically, I'm looking at it. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But again, we'll see. I'm of the belief now, unless things completely fall apart over the next 2 weeks, that they're not going to be sellers at the deadline.
Dodgers, their bullpen ERA is 4.4, which is 24th in all of baseball. They had the bullpen blow up a game yesterday against the Brewers. Call. We will send you Class A, but we want Hai-Sung Kim in return.
No, I want Pages.
Andy, well, one of the two.
It's got to be
like that. Like if you're gonna do it, you call the Dodgers, because the Dodgers can move off guys and they need bullpen help really bad.
I want Pages, and I would take Tommy Edman.
Doesn't he play every day for them?
I mean,
you're not getting two everyday guys for him.
For Class A, dude, you're talking about a top 2 closer in the sport that has what, 3 years left to control?
Yeah, they're not giving you Andy, and it would be Andy. I think just Andy.
No, it would be more than that.
What? Andy is 24 years old with a bunch of control and absolutely mashing this year. He's at 283 with an 807 OPS. There is no way you get more than Andy from the Dodgers.
I think they would, but Only because Andy this is his 1 year that he's been, he's not a proven bat.
Man, I don't know. 24-year-old doing that. That'd be, to me, it's a hard sell getting anything other than him.
I mean, but like you ask big.
Yeah, I guess I think I would.
Like the Indians hold the leverage. Cleveland holds the leverage in this situation. We don't have to deal Class A.
They do, but it's like if you're like, well, I want more than Andy. Like, you wouldn't accept a Class A for Andy Pages deal? Oh, Pat. I 100% would take an Andy Pages deal for Class A straight up.
I think Cleveland needs to ask for more.
I'm just saying, like, they can ask for more, but if that's the final offer, you're not taking that if you're Cleveland.
I want to look back at the relief moves last year at the deadline, because I think relievers are commanding more than that right now.
Dog, that's an everyday outfielder. He's a
right.
Naturally,
all right. So we had all right. Padres got Tanner Scott and Brian Hoeing from the Marlins, but they just got a bunch of all right. Yeah. Well, here we go. Here's an interesting one. So the Padres got Tanner Scott and Brian Hoeing last year from the Marlins. Tanner Scott is not even close to the level of Emmanuel Clase, right? We can agree on that. The Marlins got in return the Padres numbers 2, 4, and 5 prospects, 3 top 5 prospects, and their number 24 prospect. Like right then and there, I think Pages and someone else. Yeah, absolutely.
Last year at the time of the deal, his ERA was 1.1. Like, we're talking like saying Tanner Scott's not in the realm of Class A, I think is a little egregious. At the time of the deal, his ERA was 1.1. The year before, 1.75. And I know Class A was fantastic last year, but what's Class A's ERA right now?
Come on, we're not going to do this, right?
Oh no, I'm at the time of the deal, like.
You know damn well as much as I do that you don't look at relievers' ERAs to determine if they're effective. One blow up out and completely torches a reliever's ERA.
Then what do you want? Strikeouts per 9? What do you want?
I'm talking about. All right, first of all, the longevity of Class A speaks for itself. He's never had a season with an ERA under 3.
Tanner Scott was a top 3 reliever in the sport for that stretch, right?
I mean, was he? I think you could argue that Emmanuel Clase, Devin Williams, and Mason Miller were all better.
Okay, WAR-wise. 3.9, 4.0, 3.3 in the 3 years before he got dealt. Like that's an elite closer.
All right. I guess top 5. Right?
Yeah, I guess for me, I think if you can flip a closer into an everyday outfielder with an OPS over 800, that would immediately be your number 2 hitter. Immediately be your second best hitter. Like I think that's a slam dunk.
Yeah. Again, I'll do it. I'm just Pages doesn't have like last year he came up 116 games. I get it as a rookie. But hit 248, a 712 OPS. Like it wasn't like he was doing crazy numbers. This year he's improved. So
like we're trading for like current value. I don't know. I would do that deal. Like fuck, like I would trade Devin Williams for Andy Pages like right now. I'm not even think twice about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's where I'm at. I don't. But again, like the trades kind of went from before this winning streak from the Guardians. It was like let's blow this thing up and see what haul we can get, and then get the young guys up here and get a haul. Now it's honestly quiet down a little bit of the Chase the Lauder stuff, who's still raking in AAA, by the way.
Homered again yesterday.
Still absolutely raking. Him and Kafis, I think, went back-to-back innings with home runs.
Mm-hmm. The interesting thing about DeLauder is that I don't understand what's going on, because I think like their whole argument was that they're trying to work up his, trying to amp up his workload. He already sat Monday of this week and now is sitting again on Thursday. And it's just like, I don't know. I think they're babying him too much, but
no, I think they just want to be eligible for that PIP pick. next year because he can't win Rookie of the Year this year. So that's what it is.
Which
They just want to give him. They want to give themselves 3 shots to get the pick in 2027. I think at least that's what people tend to tell me on Twitter. But I think that's absolutely foolish because it wouldn't be until 2027.
Exactly, and
then
like you're playing in a win now mode with Josie. So
right. So then now you're talking about a player that probably wouldn't get his debut until 2030 is what you're like pushing him back for.
Yeah, it's stupid if that's their reasoning.
Yeah. So, but who do you guys have next? Right? You guys have White Sox.
The White Sox 4 in a row starting tonight in Chicago. They're honoring the 2005 World Series team this weekend. So
is the Pope coming?
I don't know, dude. We might see a little Pope action.
The Pope, big White Sox fan. But you guys should sweep. You want back-to-back sweeps, so you want to be feeling good.
I would love back-to-back sweeps, but it's baseball. Anyone can beat anyone on a given day. I understand that. You got to win this series, point blank. Like splitting this series is terrible, in my opinion. Anything less.
Oh, and it's a 4-game set. Yeah,
so it's a 4-game set. So they gotta go 3-1 or 4-0 this weekend.
Yeah, so you would take 3-1 is what you want. I mean it's the White Sox. And then who would you guys say? Who would you say was your player of the series last series? Out of curiosity, just want to pick your brain.
Oh, Angel Martinez has to be.
Just double checking. I love Angel, dude.
Yeah, you can make a case for Rocchio just because he's struggled all year, and this series was kind of his coming out party. He had the go-ahead hit in game 1 of the series after Bybee blew the 4-0 lead, coming in with a two-run double, and then had the home run in game 2. But Angel with the grand slam off Hader, and then the home run last night, definitely for me was the player of the series.
I think that
both guys.
Was that out in one stadium? Like no one ever talks about the Houston wall.
Yeah, well, it's funny. Just listening to the Guardians broadcast all series, like they were very adamant about how David Fry on Monday and Angel Martinez's on Tuesday were both 1 of 30 ballpark home runs.
Yeah, it just feels so little leaguey out there, bro, and it's not nearly as high as the monster.
Oh no, I don't think it's even as high as progressive as their left field.
Really?
Ball.
I thought it was. I don't know. I don't know the height on that. I just know that it looked like a lazy pop up.
Yeah. I definitely didn't think Angel got it off the bat. But then as the, I think it was Trammell out there and left kept drifting back.
Trammell and left.
Oh shit. There's a chance. But hey, shout out to understanding the dimensions of the ballpark and where to lift the ball.
I don't think he gets that. I think he just caught one. And it was a good pitch, right? It was up and in.
It was up and in.
Yeah, honestly, if you're Hader, you got to know better than to go up and in at that stadium.
Yeah, but also he had just gotten Jonathan Rodriguez. That's where he lives, right? Hader lives with that fastball just above the zone. Because of that arm angle, it creates so much late rise to it that hitters chase it when it's up. So I don't fault him for doing that. But what's worth noting is that he had pitched the 9th inning. Now, remember, before he signed this deal with Houston, he refused to go back-to-back innings.
Yeah, he would
never go more
innings.
than 1 inning.
Yeah,
so this is now one of the, the clauses in his contract with Houston is that they're going to be like, you know what, we're going to use you multiple innings, and that's something that he agreed to when he signed this deal with them. And I
didn't realize that.
This is something that they were talking about on the broadcast, that like Hader is going to go, more than 1 inning if need be. And so that was one of the scenarios. He pitched the scoreless 9th, and then comes out in the 10th and does not look sharp. Part of it was they intentionally walked Josie, but then could not find the zone against Carlos, could not find the zone against Rodriguez. And honestly, they got lucky because he chased ball 4, which would have walked in the go-ahead run, and then gave up the home run to Angel. So
it's funny because Angel, fast hands and like really good bat to ball skills, in my opinion. It's like going up and in there. Like I think that kid's gonna turn into like a 20 home run kind of pop guy.
I would love it if he does.
To me, that's what he projects as, dude. Like he's like, to me, like his frame isn't big, but he's got nice bat speed, and we're seeing like players with that build that kind of maximize bat speed be able to generate some pop. Like you think about like guys with that frame, like Jazz Chisholm and PCA. Not saying he's going to be either of those guys, but like that's kind of like the power potential that he has in that frame, given the bat speed that he's able to generate.
And honestly, like one reason why I'm cautiously optimistic for Angel is because of the year PCA's had, because they are very similar in terms of the type of hitter they are. Like Angel goes up there and he's going to swing the bat. He's not going to walk.
Yeah.
Which, again, if as a bottom of the order hitter, I don't mind when you're hitting second, which he was earlier in the season. It's a little bothersome. Like, all right, you want Josie. If you're hitting Josie third, you want Quan to work the count early, and you want whoever's hitting in that number 2 hole to make that pitcher throw 10, 12 pitches before Jose even gets in the box the first time, just to give yourself an advantage.
And PCA was not good offensively last year.
No, he's been ass up until this year, and this has been his breakout year. So that's where, again, a guy who's a free swinger, doesn't walk, he's gonna swing early and swing often. It gives me hope that Angel can turn into. I'm not anticipating it next year or whatever, but maybe down the road a type of hitter that PCA is, because it took PCA this is third year now,
this is year 3, and last year he was pretty underwhelming too, but always had like the bat speed and the contact numbers, and this happens with young guys because like they're used to being able to run out infield hits too. So it's like, I'm just gonna get the ball in play, and then we're good, and then we're in action. So I like Angel. I know sometimes you feel like you want to give up on him. I want you all the way on an Angel the way I am.
All right, hold up. I've never given up on him. I just view him.
You said like no, not giving up. I should say you think he's a smaller part of the future than Manzardo. Was that the comment? I think he's a bigger part of the future than Manzardo.
I disagree, but
really, I don't know.
I mean, listen, what does Cleveland need? We need a middle of the order bat more than anything, and I think that's what Manzardo can bring to the table.
I think that the fans like Manzardo more than the front office does.
I mean, I don't understand why, considering you traded Savali like that. You could absolutely go down as making one of the most lopsided trades in the history of the franchise if you just let Manzardo develop and hit the way he's been hitting. They traded Aaron Savali for him straight up, which is
I agree.
Yeah. Well, no, you just said you think Angel Martinez is a bigger part of the future.
No, I agree that he should play more.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't agree. I think Angel Martinez is a bigger part of the future because I think he's. I like. Well, here we go. My type of player, ceiling wise, I prefer the Angel Martinez like power speed combo rather than.
I mean, again, Cleveland has been searching for a middle of the order power hitter sustained for the longest time. So that's why I think you struck gold with that trade to land Manzardo, and he's been hitting great this year when he's played. You just gotta get him at bats, man.
Dude, Savali in the middle of that trade and the Andrew Vaughn trade is so funny, dude.
Yeah, like literally could go down as one of the biggest fleeces in Indians history.
Well, like a double up too, because I think like Vaughn is a good player right now.
Yeah, dude. I told you when that trade happened, I've always thought very highly of Vaughn.
Mm-hmm.
He always gave me, even on these really bad White Sox teams, him and Robert were the two guys that were like, all right, you don't want to serve one up to these guys because they'll make you pay. Like, you
position of need. Oh, my bad.
Sorry, no, you're good.
I was gonna say position of need for the deadline. What do you got?
I mean,
like prioritize. Like, what's your number one deadline priority?
It's twofold, because like, I want to see what we have in DeLauder and Kafis. And it's like,
I have to move off of guys. So like, is that your priority? See what you have with the young guys? You don't want to add export like a bullpen arm or import like a bullpen arm or something?
I mean, we definitely need a bullpen arm just because guys have been getting hit hard this year, and guys are going to need, some time off in the second half to be fresh if we do end up making a postseason run. So I think a bullpen arm is I wouldn't say the biggest need, because the biggest need is an outfielder, right? We've struggled to produce from right field and center field offensively all season long. We refuse to call up the guys who in the minor leagues who maybe could fix that problem. So it's like, are they going to address it via trade? I don't know. I don't know what their plan is. And I think we'll get an understanding over the next 2 weeks how they perform, if they feel the need to go all in and maybe get an impact bat. Because other than that, I don't see them doing much in terms of adding at the deadline.
Weak, kid.
We'll see. It's
I you guys won't do it, but I would love it. I want Schneemann in New York so bad.
I mean, we're not going to trade Schneemann,
especially not to New York. But like my 3 wish list items: Suarez, Bohm, and Schneemann
over Gallen.
Oh, I was more thinking about field guys. No, I would love Gallen too.
Yeah,
but We need a third baseman now.
So. Yeah, Suarez has got. If I'm the Yankees, I'm doing anything and everything in my power to land Suarez. He's having a crazy year. He's built to be a Yankee, like a straight up, home run hitting third baseman. Like, doesn't really care about defense. He's just there. He's there to mash, man. He just feels like a Yankee.
I would want him if he came with Gallen, but like I'm not going to
just him.
No, I would like. I mean, just him would be good, but I wouldn't be super mad at Bohm.
I think Bohm, and I said this to you off air, but I think Bohm would be. He does not have the mental makeup for the Bronx. I think he would crumble in high leverage situations if he's struggling and the fans are getting on him. Because we saw what happened in Philly, man, a couple years ago. He let the crowd get to him big time, to the point where he's visibly upset in the field into the batter's box. And I think if you can't handle Philly, boy, you can't handle the Bronx.
Yeah, but it's like in New York, like whoever plays third, I think is going to get a free pass from the fans. Yankee fans already
there's no one that gets free passes.
Yes, there are.
Who's the last person to get a free pass that struggled?
A free pass, like, I mean, for starters, like struggling wise, getting a free pass. Peraza gets a free pass, dude.
Brother, those players don't count. I'm talking about you bring in a big name. You're bringing in
is Alec a big name?
He's big enough where if you're trading for him, you're expecting immediate impact. No one expects Peraza to do shit. You're not gonna boo Peraza.
Oh, relax. I think that he will get shielded because Yankee fans have a target, and that target
can have multiple.
Is Anthony Volpe.
And guess who plays right next to Volpe, man? He'll fucking hear it too, dude. You gotta be real with me.
I'm damn well. I'm being real.
Everyone is eligible for getting booed at Yankee Stadium. If you're coming in, if we traded for you and you're not performing, you are going to get booed. That's just the nature of the franchise, and how you respond to that is how you gain their respect.
Yeah.
Like Stanton. Stanton used to get booed. Until he started producing.
But Jazz never got booed.
That's because he came over and he started hitting for you guys.
But Jazz had some abysmal stretches.
He was hitting last year for you guys, dude.
Yeah, up until the postseason.
Bro, Jazz last year,
he was good
after he got traded, hit 273 with an 825 OPS and 11 bombs in 46 games.
Yeah. End of the year was rough, though. I guess is where I'm at.
But it doesn't matter, man. I'm telling you, it's like they're not gonna. They will boo you. You know this, that they're gonna boo someone if they mess up, especially right when you get there. Like, I think you have to earn it quick.
I think what would hurt him would be the errors. I don't think offensively people would trip out yet.
No. It would be the errors. Because that's where they got on him on Philly.
Yeah. Not the bats. So who knows? But anyway, Schneeman's on my list too. I would love Schneeman, and I think Schneeman could be like the perfect like bargain, like buy low, because I think he's an everyday player, and I think he could be an everyday third baseman.
Schneeman, yeah. I mean, listen, I like him a lot. I like him. I like him big time. I think the Guardians would be smart if they do decide to trade him. But again, if they're winning ball games over the next couple of weeks, they're not going to. The only players that I think could get moved, regardless of the team's current record, is Lane Thomas and Carlos Santana. I think those two guys are expendable.
Yeah, that's real. Would you rather see Schneeman on the team and getting some run in the outfield, or would you rather them move him and that utility piece see DeLauder more in the outfield?
I'd rather see DeLauder.
Okay, yeah, you guys got to move Schneeman.
Yeah,
Schneeman just blocks. He just blocks too much, and obviously, like Angel's more part of the future than he is.
Yeah, just because he's younger. But again, he could be a late bloomer. And contribute, because right now, I mean, the other thing too is that we also need a fucking shortstop. So I don't think Schneeman's necessarily blocking anything. If Rocchio continues to play the way he has been,
if you guys wanted to play Schneeman at shortstop, he'd already be the shortstop.
Well, yeah, it's
like, that's what I'm saying. Like if you guys, yes, you need a shortstop, but if you guys, if that was an option for Schneeman to be the everyday shortstop, it would already be done because he hits well enough to play every day. and he's not he's not a super elite defender, but he's not going to make the boneheaded plays you see from Arias or Rocchio.
Yeah, but it's like also he is good enough to hit every day, but he's not hitting every day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, if there was a chance, like, if he was in the mix to be your everyday shortstop, it already would have been done. I mean, you guys are literally trying to try everybody else's shortstop.
Well, no, it won't be because he's just a lefty. Because we got a platoon, man. That's what I'm saying.
Like, I forgot you guys are fucking platoon university.
That's what I'm saying. He's not getting those chances because he's a lefty and he can't hit left-handed pitching, apparently.
Brutal. What grade would you give Stephen Vogt for the first half of the year as we approach the All-Star break?
C- or D.
C-. Oh, kid. That's fair.
I mean, like, there's nothing. There's very little to say positively about Stephen Vogt right now. I mean,
yeah.
I question his decision making. You utilizing pinch hitters late in games. I mean, we pinch hit fucking Daniel Schneemann for Jonathan Rodriguez the other night. I question his bullpen usage, which not 100% his fault because guys have been needed to work more than usual, especially early on in the year when our starters hadn't been going deeper into games. They are now, which is nice. But the obsession with the Matt Festas and the Jacob Junises and the Colby Allards has been an issue of mine and has cost us, some games where we were in it. And then you bring in a Matt Festa and they implode. I question his lineup daily with the platoon strategies and not getting Manzardo and Schneemann at bats against left-handed pitching. There's not much positive I can say about Stephen Vogt. The reason why he's not an automatic F for me is that this is his second year. He's young. You hope that he starts to figure it out. And I hope that the second half, maybe the All-Star break, he needs a mental reset and for him to look at the fucking numbers and be like, all right, I got to start playing these guys every day. And I got to start utilizing my bullpen a little better and a little more strategically. And if he does that in the second half, I'll feel really confident about where this team can go. But until then, Stephen Vogt lives little to be desired right now.
And you're still kind of afloat.
Yeah, exactly. Still afloat. 4.5 out of a playoff spot.
I want to talk about your guy, Andrew Abbott. He is an all-star, a Make-A-Wish all-star. Right now, the Reds are sitting at 47 and 46. That's behind the Cardinals, Brewers, and Cubs. The Brewers have been a lot better than I thought they were going to be heading into the year. A lot of that has to do with, pulling up Miz, and the bats are rolling, and they kind of play guard ball in the NL.
They 100% do, man. They're built because you look at that lineup, and there's no real power threat outside of maybe Christian Yelich, but like,
hey, shout out my guy Caleb Durbin out there doing a great job too. Durbin, Vaughn, and Yelich, the Brewers' big three.
Yeah.
I think Contreras is below 200 right now.
He's not below 200 average wise, but OPS wise, he's really bad. He's got a 239 average, but a 690 OPS.
Hey, he's a catcher. Just get on.
Yeah, which again, like, you live with that as a catcher. It's better than what Bo Naylor and Austin Hedges have combined.
Yeah, dude, Bo Naylor's ass. Dude, you guys need a catcher. Here we go. I want to talk about Andrew Abbott, bro, because you're in like this everlasting beef a little bit. I think it's hilarious about Abbott. You called Abbott an above average pitcher, and someone, Ohio Divided want to let you know that no, he's elite and he's, should be in the Cy Young hunt and all kinds of shit. And you guys have the ERA around 3, I think.
Yeah, I said the ERA is going to finish over 3 for the season.
Dude, honestly, bro, like Abbott, good pitcher, but he's pitching way better than his expected stats.
Well, that's my thing. It's like at a certain point.
It's been really lucky. I think he's good. I don't think he's frontline good.
No, and that was the point I tried to make when I was originally saying it, was that like I think Abbott is I think if in a playoff rotation, an ideal playoff rotation, you want Abbott to be your 2 or 3 like that. You feel really good about your rotation if Abbott is your 2 or 3 starter, right?
Yeah,
the guy that's gonna pitch to contact. He's gonna try to keep hitters off balance. The one thing that's concerning is that come playoff time, the guys that pitch to contact always scare me because then you're running into, all right, these are good offenses that know how to hit the ball. If you can't get swing and miss stuff, to me, that is a little concerning come playoff time. That's why I don't put him at the elite ace level type of pitcher that I think Reds fans are doing right now. And it's like, you look at the numbers, phenomenal. 8-1, 207 ERA. In 91 innings, he only has 83 strikeouts. That's a little concerning for your ace to be less than a strikeout per inning, I believe. His whiff rate is in the 42nd percentile. He's getting, he's missing barrels for the most part, 59th percentile in barrel percentage.
That's not ace stuff. Just so
it's
you know,
not ace stuff. Exactly. Yeah. So we look at his career. I mean, this is his third year now in the bigs. His first 2 years, 3.87 ERA, 3.72 ERA. Maybe he's figured something out this year, and maybe this will be the start of a stretch for Andrew Abbott over the next couple of years. But to me, he grades out like a really good 2 or 3.
Yeah, that's what Rod Farr was saying. No, there is people online that have been battling with Pat a little bit about him being an ace. Kind of.
Oh yeah,
it's funny because when I hear I like a pitcher's pitcher, and like obviously like he is kind of a pitcher's pitcher. The fastball velo being at 92.4, it's kind of in that same range as like Michael King, but Michael King was getting the Ks. I think it's funny that you brought up the ground ball thing. He's like bad in the bad area when it comes to generating ground balls.
Yeah, only 9th percentile in ground ball percentage, which again, you don't like
that's scary. That would scare me if I was a Reds fan. But he's been really lucky, man, and like maybe he's got something figured out. Maybe he's like the generate pop-ups kind of guy.
Yeah.
But the good thing for him is he doesn't have to be the number one because Green is there. Who I think is who they need to progress pretty quickly is Burns.
Yeah, I mean that's your ace of the future. I mean, well, I guess
Green and Burns are the same thing.
Yeah, I'm high on Lodolo as well. I know he's had a down year, but I still think his stuff is going to play once he also has to stay healthy and just become a pure pitcher. But like, yeah, even this year, I mean, 3.58 ERA, a 1.14 whip. Like, I think Lodolo's stuff plays even better than Abbott's, but.
We're now 3 starts into the Burns experience. Do you think they brought him up a little bit too early, or do you think he was brought up out of necessity and he'll be all right?
I mean, I don't know. I think for me, maybe a little early. I mean, he made 3 AAA starts, I think it was.
Yeah.
So again, I don't necessarily hate it. I think the earlier you get a guy, I think getting a pitcher early experience is different than getting a hitter early experience. For a hitter, if you call him up too early, he could develop bad habits and kind of get in his own head. It's easier to fail as a hitter in the majors than it is a pitcher. So I don't disagree with bringing up Burns when they did, especially given the fact that the outside of, I mean, their pitching staff hasn't been healthy.
Yeah, and they're a little depleted. I just, I mean, to have under 20 starts altogether in the minors and then be kind of thrown up, I do wonder if they're going to shake his confidence a little bit. Right now the ERA is above 8, Pat, in 3 starts.
It's only 1 start.
Yeah, well, yeah, the blow up start, and I think the issue also is the walks. I mean, he
didn't walk a single batter in his debut, and then the last 2 starts is where the walks have become an issue.
So he's up to 5.4 walks per 9, but 13.5 strikeouts per 9.
Yeah, I mean, you go through the game logs. He had 0 walks and 8 Ks in his first start. Then the reason the ERA is fucked up is because the 5 earned runs in 0.1 innings pitched against Boston. The Phillies a little bit better, 1 earned run in 4 2/3, not as deep as you'd like, but 4 walks is concerning. So
yeah, the walks, and we talked about it yesterday, but like when I was talking about Carlos LaGrange, like you worry about like lots of deep counts for a flamethrower,
and that's something that you have to learn at the big league level, especially to become a pitcher, and when to go for the strikeout and when to understand that, like, all right, I need a quick inning. Let's get stuff over the plate. Let's create soft contact so I can.
That's why I believe every pitcher should have a cutter and or a sinker. I think every pitcher should, because that's how you get ground balls.
Well, that's like originally the Matt Blake school of thinking. Like that's what he did with Corey Kluber, and what made Corey Kluber so effective was he gave him 3 different fastballs. And now basically every pitcher that comes to the Guardians, I mean, Slade Ciccone said it last night in his post-game interview. When he was in Arizona, he threw 1 fastball. He comes to Cleveland, they're having him throw 3 fastballs. You throw a cutter, you throw a 2-seamer, and then you throw your 4-seam. It's like you want your fastball to go 3 different movements. And so Gavin Williams, another example of a flamethrower that's now developing those secondary fastballs in order to let him go deeper in games and get outs on fewer pitches where he just can't rely on blowing fastballs by him. I think as soon as Chase Burns gets to that point, he's going to become really scary.
I mean, it's kind of saved Rodon's career a little bit.
Yeah.
It's going to save Max Fried's health this year for the next couple of years. Will Warren, I mean, same deal. He gets a lot more ground balls than
Michael King when he was there too. Same
Michael
thing.
King, but Michael King was also a high strikeout guy too. But even Cam Schlittler, I mean, yesterday, I mean, now his second fastball is just a 93-mile-per-hour slider. He's been ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think my hot take of the day is I think that Schlittler is going to be better than Chase Burns.
You're biased. You're biased.
Whoa. And not because I think he has better stuff, but I think Chase Burns needs a Matt Blake.
All right. I mean, that's fair. That's a valid concern. I mean, all right. The one concern you have with Schlittler is he, because the fastball took a massive spike, right?
Yeah, it really, like, I still like can't figure it out.
I'm curious if that's is he overthrowing?
I don't think so.
Because
he's throwing it for strikes.
Yeah.
And usually when you overthrow, you miss a lot more. I mean, even the walk, he had the walk in the first inning, but like it was 4 strikes. He just got squeezed a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm absolutely taking Chase Burns over Cam Schlittler.
That's fine. That's cool. And I can't wait to revisit this.
Yeah.
I think it's, and people called it the terrible. Like, here we go. Like what does Chase Burns have that Schlittler doesn't? I mean, those are the top 2 strikeout guys in the minors. They're both hard throwers. They both have that bullet slider that's up above 92 as a slider.
Schlittler doesn't have the change that Burns has.
But he also has one of the more ridiculous sweepers. So it's like they can layer it. Yeah, and I think they're close in terms of stuff. I just think that Burns was a bigger name in the draft. And here we go. And just to preface this, I think Burns, Schlittler, and Miz are all going to be absolute monsters in 2 years.
Yeah.
I think Schlittler and Miz are going to get there quicker. They're a little older.
I was going to say, well, they're both older than Burns.
Yeah, they're older, and they're both bigger. I believe Chase Burns is 6'3", which is a great height.
Yes, 6'3", 210. Schlittler 6'6", 225.
Yeah, so it's like, and also like we're just another, like, Schlittler is just going to be another like good pitcher in the mix here.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and I also honestly, I want this to be less about Schlittler and more about, I think Matt Blake's unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh,
like making sculptures out of shit. Like no offense to Yarby, who I'm a big fan of now. Yarby does not belong anywhere near a playoff rotation.
No,
he got cut from Toronto.
Yeah, I mean, he made his living as an opener in Tampa Bay. Like that.
Yeah. And they told him we don't want to guarantee money, and then he came in and like ended up has done really well for New York, and a lot of that's because he's added like the sinker and the cutter basically.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's more about Matt Blake, but no, Schlittler made his debut. Dog, you had the Guardians game on. I think Schlittler looked disgustingly good.
Yeah, I mean, I have to go back and watch the full thing. I watched his highlights on like Pitching Ninja and stuff on Twitter. So obviously he's showing all the strikeouts. What did he finish with? 7 Ks. Yeah, dude, I'm so pissed because I literally was talking to you earlier in the day about how his over-under was only 4.5, and I totally forgot to play it.
Dude, what's crazy, and I have my concern with Schlittler is like kind of what you already said. I don't know where the velo comes from. Like, I don't know. And I guess like you and I have talked about it. I don't know if I've ever shared it on the show, but I went to go see George Lombard when he played against Akron for his debut. And I have like weird connections, and I got media credentials. And so I was in the dugout taking pictures, taking photos. And that day, Cam was sitting like 94, 95.
Yeah.
And that was not too long ago. It was like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And he's out there, 6'6", looked the part, felt the part. I mean, him next to Spencer Jones, they're eye to eye. Spencer Jones is supposed to be like the next Aaron Judge or whatever, like huge slugger. And he was really workmanlike. And like, I mean, I showed you the video of him spitting and missing. And like, he always wanted a ball and like was talking through grips. Didn't have the best outing, but you could tell workmanlike and had it. But again, sitting like 95. He got bumped up to AAA, and then out of nowhere, I'm texting you during like his first AAA start. I'm like, it's saying 97, 98. And my first thought was like a misread, but he went from like 95 spring training and AA to 97, 98 to yesterday cracking 100, I think 3 times.
I think
he's never thrown a ball that hard before. And he was carrying 99 into like the 5th, 6th inning in his last start at AAA.
I'd love to see, and again, we'll never really hear this probably, but I'm wondering if they were kind of emphasizing like control and stuff in the minors, and then once he developed, once you have that control down, then all right, let's start letting it fly, like start letting it go. Like you seem to have it down. You can unload a little bit more. We think you have a little bit more in the tank. Because, I mean, that's what you worry with big guys that throw hard, right? It's always there. It's control. The control. You don't want to be wild. So if again, this is just my working theory as someone who's, pitched. My whole career, was that, you always wanted to me, I sacrificed throwing a little, slower than some other kids. If I knew I could throw the ball wherever the fuck I wanted to, like I could dot up the corners better than anyone. And I'm, at the big league level, similar story. So if you can sit 94, 95 with precise location, that'll play better than 98, 99, but you don't know where the fuck it's going to go.
It was just wild seeing him paint 99 all of a sudden.
But and then you, once you get in that rhythm, then you start to be like, all right, let it fly a little bit. Let's see if we can replicate this now, just throwing a little harder. So
dude, I don't know. It just feels like a big velo increase, and it's funny because like he was dotting shit up and not getting the calls he wanted, and so then he just started cranking up 100 right down the middle. Like the strikeout to Cal Raleigh, wasn't. It was just, but I think Cal was probably sitting off speed there.
Yeah, 100%. And again, this is. We've talked about it a couple times now. These big time, pitching prospects come up and always tend to look good their first start. It's that second start where we've seen guys get hit around. So I'm curious to see, because Schlittler won't go this weekend then, right?
No, he won't.
Because we only have 4 games left. So he won't go till after the All-Star break, which I'm curious if the time off might help him out in his favor in terms of avoiding that second start crash out. So
second start blow up.
Yeah.
It is wild because he's not one of the highly rated like pitching prospects for them. Like he's not in their top 5.
I was looking at that yesterday.
Like Ben Hess is their top pitching prospect, 6'5", 255.
Yeah.
Bryce Cunningham is their number 2 pitching prospect, 6'5", 230. Elmer Rodriguez Cruz, 6'3", 160. He's real skinny, but he's their number 3 prospect. Chase Hampton, their number 4 pitching prospect. Brock Selvage, their number 5 pitching prospect. Henry Lalani is their number 7 pitching prospect. Cam is their number 8.
Number 8 pitching prospect is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess again that with a big guy like that at 6'6", you figure the concern and probably why he was that low is the command, right? So if the command's there, I mean, he have 2 walks yesterday?
Yeah, but the first one is disgusting that it was a walk, dude.
Oh, you said that. I still got to rewatch his start. Yeah, I'm just box score looking right now. But
you're gonna watch that at bat and be pissed. It was disgusting that was a walk.
Yeah. Hey, robot umps, baby. Beep boop, beep boop.
Yeah, honestly, I've been anti it. That was the first time I thought about it because I couldn't believe because he had him frozen up there.
I as a pitcher, it's like I get so pissed, and especially when it's your own team, but it's like you watch a pitcher make a good pitch and they don't get the call. Like as a pitcher, Chris, doesn't that infuriate you?
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. I think the way they're doing in the minors, and we'll see it next week. So I don't know, for those of you that are unaware, the MLB All-Star game is going to have the ABS system in effect for the actual game. So we'll be able to see those big leaguers go ahead and show up the umps a couple times. So I'm excited for that. And I don't know, I'm hopeful that they can expedite the process from here on out and get it to the major leagues as quickly as possible, because I think it's just going to create an overall better product for the sport.
100% agree. 100% agree. We have Seattle tonight, trying to finish off this this 4-game sweep, and then really get out of here, dude. Like really trying to.
And then you guys, who do you guys face this weekend?
Let me. That's right. We got Chicago next.
Oh, yeah. Wait, where?
We got Chicago in New York.
I was gonna say, should we make a trip out to Chicago because we're playing in Chicago?
So Chicago's gonna get Rodon, Freed, Warren.
That's gonna be a hell of a series to close out the first half.
Yeah, super lefties on at 1:00. Okay. It'll be Freed and Boyd.
Damn. And then you guys will face Shote too, probably, right?
Yep, Warren
and Shote.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's the third pitching matchup?
I don't know who game 1 is.
Okay. Shote Imanaga. Where's Friday? Oh yeah, it doesn't have it right now. It's weird.
But today we're outgunned, dude. Stroman, Woo.
Yeah, this is kind of like the whatever. You always like doing this when you're up 2-0 in a series. You can throw out the punt lineup and starter and be like, all right, listen, if we win, it's a bonus. If not, we still won the series. But what does your lineup look like? Are you throwing a punt lineup out there too, or is it just?
I'm looking to see right now.
They might not have posted it yet. It's still early.
No, they should. They usually try to get it to me early.
Okay.
Just so I can get my fantasy lineup squared away.
This says a waiting starting lineup on Savant still. I don't know if they're a little late.
No, I got it. Dominguez leadoff. Grisham is back in the lineup.
Ooh, okay.
Hitting second, Judge third, Belly fourth, Jazz fifth, Ben Rice, Wells, Volpe, and Vivas.
Okay. So, I mean, pretty standard, right? Just no Giancarlo.
That's a punt, dude. Anytime Aaron DHs.
Okay.
No Aaron. I mean, no Goldschmidt and no Giancarlo.
Yeah. So, hey, you win it. You win. If not, you go on to Chicago, right? Take a series.
And then fucking Jorbit. Vivas. What do I want to do fantasy?
I forgot. When's the last time he even played?
He just got recalled because we cut DJ LeMahieu.
Oh, yeah, duh.
Yeah.
Jorbit Vivas and his 156 average.
Wait, who do I want? Who do the Marlins starting lineup? What's their? My bad. I'm just trying to set my lineup today.
They're playing the Reds. Yeah, they're about to start in an hour. We got Quantrill versus Lodolo. Oh God, the Reds should smoke them again.
Yeah, and Augustin is DHing. So let's go. Enter Ben Rice.
Cal Quantrill, man, he was a legend the 1 year in Cleveland, but
the only immaculate inning this year.
That's wild. Although we got robbed of the
what's it called?
Yamamoto, right?
Yamamoto.
Yeah.
Yamamoto. I'm ready to get out of here, bro. I want to go let this dog out, go about my day.
Yeah. Good hang. We'll see you guys back on Monday. We got Home Run Derby.
Maybe we'll live stream for it. I don't know what you're doing, but we'll figure it out.
Wait a second.
Yeah, we might have something.
But yeah, that's it's been a good episode. We're feeling good. Hopefully we continue this positive momentum for both our teams into the weekend.
Yes. I'm Chris. That's Pat.
Strike 3. We're out.
Get him out.